What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today's video, I actually just deleted and didn't upload, and instead you've got this. And the reason why you've got this instead is because there is a lot of discussion right now about the friendlies situation, the quitting in friendlies, the community helping each other out and stuff. And I think I talked a lot about that already in the video that I ended up not uploading, but I want to just give, I suppose, a more clear and concise setup of where I'm at with it. The other thing that we've got going on is the base icon pack is out, and I'm going to grind that with some libsud stuff. I'll explain that a little bit more in tomorrow's video because I'm gonna have to work back and change some things around. But this all started. Well, this all started a couple of days ago on video when I said I don't think it's a good thing that people are just quitting out the games, right? And you know, I have reasons for that, and some people agree and some people disagree. And whether you agree or disagree is absolutely fine. It's your prerogative at the end of the day. It's your game at the end of the day to do what you want with, right? Don't let me tell you how to play. Don't let somebody else tell you how to play or how not to play. If you want to go 1-0 down and quit to get it done quicker, if you hope that your opponent quits at 1-0 down to get it go quicker, that's absolutely fine. I've got no problems with that at all. And I think a lot of people thought that I had a problem with people getting it done quick. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. My point is though, and what I'm gonna do for tomorrow's video is building my Bundesliga first owner squad, right? My point is, just because you want to get the games done ASAP doesn't mean I have to get the games done ASAP. I want to use these players that we have spent so long grinding towards that there's no reasonable space to use them in anymore because they're so far behind the power curve with regards to foot champs and rivals. You know, I could use them in, I mean champs would be debatable because we only go to 14 wins, but rivals, we need our best team out there, right? We need those points. So these players here, I want to go and use these players, right? I want to use this Bellarabi, this Koeman. I want to use this Kramaric for sure. I don't think I've got many games on Mukiele, 32 since we've got him. I want to use these players. I don't want to put these players into a squad, score a goal and have someone quit, or concede a goal and quit. I want to experience these players. I want to use these players. So whilst you are absolutely free to quit at 1-0 down and hope that your opponent quits at 1-0 up, don't force that narrative on the people that you play against. I have seen way too many people getting abusive messages because they didn't quit at 1-0. I've seen way too many people going 1-0 down, just getting an abusive message, and instead of being like, oh, I'm going to leave or I'm going to play, just rubber banding their controller and walking away and forcing that person to sit there the whole time, which is also as equally toxic. And I've seen way too many people pulling a goal back in a game to pause it and quit so that nobody gets anything. This whole golden goal thing is saving a lot of people a lot of time, but it is not creating a good gaming experience, right? So where this video started from today and why I end up scrapping the last video, you don't get to see my champs games. I think there were some packs in there. I can't remember what was in it. I'll get Ram to pick out the best parts of that to put into tomorrow's video so that you guys can see it. But I tweeted out, somebody had said, I don't know where you stand regarding golden goal in friendlies, but what do you think EA will introduce to counter it? And so this is where I think the problem is going to start. If you guys remember last year when we had the Politano objective, it was score a goal in 3 separate matches with a player from Sassuolo. Score a goal in 3 separate matches with a player from AC Milan and Juventus and so on and so forth. And what people started doing is just scoring 14 goals each. 11 starters, sub your other 3 players on, boom. You get 14 teams done in 3 games and the other 6 teams done in the next 3 games. And people were in rivals, just trading goals, back and forth and back and forth. So what EA did the next time for Trossard when he came out for the Premier League was score a goal with a Manchester United player and win. Just completely obliterated that whole section. Those milestone players became awful value for time after that. And nobody even really did them. I can't remember seeing any/many other than Politano in the game. What will happen with what we're doing now, or what the community is doing now, is EA will again introduce something that is going to make it considerably more difficult. I mean, maybe not. Maybe EA don't care. Maybe like, hey, people are having fun. Let's leave it like this. And if that's so, that's so. But don't be surprised or upset if EA put icon swaps in a couple of weeks into Rivals, or if they make it far more challenging to complete, to to take your time away. But again, why we're at this video here is because I can't personally understand the thought process behind wanting to get these done, unless you just don't have the time, right? But for people that do have the time, I don't understand the thought process behind trying to get through these games as quick as possible to get packs or cards that you can't play with it anyway because Champs is closed and Rivals is stupid, right? So all these people are like, oh man, I got it done in 45 minutes. That's sick. Now all of a sudden I can open this 5x5 85 pack. All right, even if you packed something in that 5x5 85 pack, which maybe you do, maybe you don't. I mean, we've seen some of the packs. Some of them have been good, some of them have been bad. What are you going to do with those players? In terms of icons that you can get right now, you can get the base icon pack. Let's say you pack a decent base icon. What are you going to do with that player? So you're fast tracking your way through the friendly mode to get players that you don't want to use in the competitive mode because the competitive mode is all wrong. And once again, don't get me wrong. You know my feelings on Rivals and Champs. Rivals and Champs is just dumb, right? It's so dumb, which is why Friendlies has been such a breath of fresh air. I have enjoyed, whether or not it's been value for time in the terms of the card that you get at the end of it, the Coman or the Mukiele or the Delafay or the Bellerin, whether or not it's value for time come the end of it, I have thoroughly enjoyed going into the friendly modes, playing my games through, and just getting the player at the end of it. Have I still got frustrated at FIFA whilst doing it? Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. Have I quit games? Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But for me personally, I'll quit a game when I know I can't come back. At that point, for me, it's a waste of time. If I go 2-0 down and it's half time, but I feel like I'm in with a shot, I'll play on. I still might lose the game, but I'll play on. If I go 4-0 down by half time and my opponent's just like absolutely smashing me, okay, now there's no point me playing on. Unless I need a goal or something like that, if one of the requirements is scoring a goal or getting an assist, then maybe I'll stay on. But generally speaking, I'll quit if I feel like I can't get back into the game and win, because that for me is a waste of time. For me, playing FIFA in general isn't a waste of time. So quitting at 1-0 is not something I want to do, because I think I can come back and win, and I would want to try. I would want to use the players that I spent my time building, grinding for, crafting, doing SBCs with, or getting FUT Champs rewards for. I want to actually use and experience these players, and that is my perspective. And so if you are on the side of, I want to get this done as quick as possible, that's absolutely fine, right? It's absolutely fine. But I'm getting genuine abuse for just wanting to play the game. And I find that absurd. I find it absurd that people are doing their best to not play the game. All you want is the packs or the tokens at the end. You don't want to play the game. And that's crazy to me. I get frustrated at the gameplay as much as anybody. Absolutely. But I still want to play the game, because as frustrated as I get with it on a game-to-game basis or sometimes on a day-to-day basis, I still love football and I want to play football. I don't want to just get the cards. I want to play the game. Yeah, sure, I find the most efficient way to play the game, as anyone does. That's why I only play Champs to 14 wins, because you could argue, if you just want to play the game, why don't you play all 30 games of FUT Champs? And my argument to that would be, I'd rather play the draft after getting 14 wins than play to 17 wins or to 20 wins. So it's not that when I stopped Champs at 14 wins, or this week actually 11 wins, it's not because I was done playing the game. It's just that I would rather play somewhere else. And this week we stopped at 11 wins because I would rather play for the icon tokens, because I want to get that base icon pack for you guys, right? So I would rather go in there and play those games instead of playing FUT Champs. So although I'm sure the argument of, oh, but you don't even play all of your games anyway, will come up. That's why, because I just want to play in a different area of the game, right? It went on, and then somebody said, so the person said, what do I think EA will introduce to counter it? And I said, I think they'll set it up to play 15 games instead. Then nobody will quit. And then Jambu said, surely people can still just do golden goal, even if it's just play 15 instead of win 6, because once you quit, that person gets a game played logged on their account. So I said, yeah, technically, but if you lose more than you win, might take an age, right? That was where it went. Then somebody said to me, 15 games is too much for one token, in my opinion. 75 games for 5 tokens plus 15 wins in squad battles for 8 tokens is an icon pack. 90 games is 1,080 minutes, 18 hours. That's not including breaks within the game. No thanks. And again, that's fine. That's your perspective. EA didn't make it 15 games. I don't know if he knew that or whatever. But what I said is exactly, but that's the kind of thing that will happen because people are using this golden goal thing. And that's where it then stemmed with more people. Matt of Sub, a mod, a viewer, said, I love golden goal. If somebody concedes versus me, they quit. If I concede, I quit. If they don't quit, I just play the game out, no issues. Also, still takes time to do the objectives with Balassi, Foundations, Squad Battles, Rivals, Champs, etc. There's so much to do. And again, what I said, I'll read you my response to that. I said, as I said before, I don't mind if you want to quit after 1-0. Just don't expect me to do the same. I didn't grind for these objective players to play a grand total of like 36 in-game minutes before having no real use for them again, right? And that is where it began. People were just, this is an L for you, you're toxic, this and that. Because I'm apparently toxic, guys, because I want to play the game. That's where this community has got to. And I know, watching this video now, I know some of you guys will absolutely agree with me. Some of you guys will absolutely disagree with me. And some of you guys will just see it from both sides. And I absolutely see it from both sides. I see the fact that people just want to get through it as quick as possible to get the cards. But it's beyond that I don't see the point. And it's what we've been talking about a lot. And we talked about it on stream yesterday with regards to these players and stuff. What's the point of me grinding for the Balassi card, right? He's not better than players that I've already got in the team. There are better counterparts on the market that I could just go and buy with coins. So what's the point of me grinding for Balassi, right? And I'll tell you my point for grinding for Balassi will be that I will be able to use a first owner Premier League squad. I don't even think you need a first owner Premier League squad. I think you just need Premier League goals and stuff. But I'll be able to use some of my objective players that I've picked up. So score 2 or more goals using Premier League. So 8 Premier League players. So I can use 3 icons that I've got. I can use those loan icons that I've picked up because I've never used those players because obviously they're the loan cards. And then I can use 8 Premier League players and I can build a real cool squad and go and play for this Balassi. That is where it's good for me. And then next time you need Premier League players for an objective, I can then use the Balassi. So for me personally, that's why I want to grind for these players properly. But what would be the point of me grinding, of me like circumventing? Let's say the Balassi was the same situation where people were just quitting back out. What's the point of getting this Balassi? It doesn't fit into my team otherwise. There would be no point. If not playing the friendlies mode to get the objectives done is the way people want to play the game, what's the point of completing the objective in the first place? Because once you get the objective done, once you get the icon swaps tokens done, you can get 8 icon swaps tokens, right? What you can do with those icon swaps tokens is you can either get the base icon, and then, of course, if you get a good base icon, you can put him into your main team, which you can't even use until Thursday for champ rivals and weekend for weekend league. You can get Nemanja Vidic. If he goes into your team, I think you've been doing it wrong. Some Man United fans sure take him, but I don't think he's a good shout. Or you can get these packs, right? If you want to really, really quickly get out of the gameplay to get packs, I would once again ask why you're playing FIFA in the first place. Because if you're playing FIFA for pack rewards and solely pack rewards, not, obviously everybody loves the rewards. Again, I hope people don't take out of context what I'm saying. I love opening packs. I love pack rewards. I love getting rewards. I love packing flashy cards. It's all good, right? But I also love playing the sport. I love playing football. I love playing FIFA, right? As frustrated as I get with it, I love it. So if you don't love playing the game and you just want to get through these icon swaps tokens to get these packs ASAP, I got to ask, like, why are you playing FIFA in the first place? Like, why do you want this pack if in the first place you don't enjoy playing the game? You know what I'm saying? So that was the point I tried to relay onto Twitter. And somebody said, and this is, again, something that created a lot of contention. And again, some people agree and some people disagree. Somebody said to me, I hope they just let the community actually do something together for once, rather than be toxic against each other. Never been so relaxed playing FIFA doing these swaps. And so I said, you can be just as relaxed in champs and rivals. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from quitting at 0-1 in those modes either. And man, people didn't like that because, oh yes, there is. I won't get as good a rank. So what? If what you want is a relaxed attitude and a calm manner when playing FIFA, who cares what the end result is of rewards? If you go into a game and some guy scores 1 goal against you and you just quit out of rivals and you get rank 3 instead of rank 1, as long as you had fun doing it, who cares? But no, because champs and rivals have rewards attached to them based on points and wins, all of a sudden you have to play the games. And so I really, really think people's mentalities are wrong, personally. And listen, I know my mentality on this game isn't always right either. The fact that I stop at 14 wins, for one reason, because the rewards past that aren't good, but for 2 reasons, because the stressful gameplay just does me in, right? That's that's my negative mentality. The fact that I let the game impact me in a stressful manner is my mentality being bad. So I'm not sitting here saying I am the holy grail of being some mental guru on FIFA or anything like that. Far from it, right? I get as frustrated as anyone at this game. I moan about this game as much as anyone, probably more than anyone. And you know, I hate aspects of this game as much as everyone, right? And so somebody who responded to me saying that, he said, basically told me that I'm one of the main problems with FIFA. I'm one of the toxic problems. And so I said, if I'm toxic because I don't want to quit every time I go 1 goal down, then so be it. And that's fair enough, right? If you think I'm toxic because I don't want to quit a game, I can't argue with that. If that's your perspective, I can't argue with that. I genuinely don't know what to say to that. I'm toxic because I didn't quit a game. Like, for me in gaming, you know, I'm 36 years old. I've been playing video games since I can remember, since I was just a young boy on the Sega Mega Drive, on the Commodore 64. Like, these are the consoles I grew up. For me, I can't remember a single time in my life where not quitting a game was toxic. I can't remember it, right? However, if that's people's perspective, that's fine. Crassy, a FIFA YouTuber, tweeted me and said, exactly my point. People don't like the competitive modes, but also people want to leave the games at 1-0 so they can earn those cards quickly and then use them in the competitive modes, while Foot Friendlies is a perfect mode to relax and enjoy with no pressure. And I perfectly agree with that. And then Ed Japes said to me, bro, I have no idea why people grind for all these other fun objective cards if they don't want to use them in a mode that is legit built to use them. And of course, again, I absolutely agree with that. It was a little bit antagonistic from me. I'll hold my hands up to that one. But somebody said to me, bruh, people quitting at 1-0 is one of the best things the FIFA community has done in a while. Just eliminates the time. If you don't quit at 1-0, you're kind of weird. And again, that makes me think, well, then why not quit every game at 1-0 if it just eliminates the time? And then it made me think even further. So I responded and said, you can eliminate months with the same principle. If you just don't play at all, then come back at team of the season, you can save all that playing time and just pick up the best players for cheap right there. If the whole purpose of you playing FIFA is to just save time to get rewards, I once again would argue that you are playing the wrong game. Go and play a game that you enjoy. Go and play a game. Like, I don't go into Warzone with Nick, right? Land, see a guy get a gun before me and just back out. I'll be like, well, there was no point playing that game. Somebody got a gun before me. People will be like, what on earth are you doing? You could have still won. You could have gone and got a gun from somewhere else. You could have beat him with your pistol. You could have still done something in that game. You don't see some guy call in an airstrike halfway across the map and be like, oh my God, those guys have got airstrikes. Might as well back out of the game. It's absurd to me because playing the actual game is where you derive the fun. Now, playing the menus in FIFA can be fun for sure, can be strenuous, can be long, like can be a many things. But playing FIFA surely is the purpose of obtaining these cards, right? So why would you remove that aspect? I just don't understand it. Oh, he's going to goal up, might as well back out. And if that is your outlook, why not do it in every mode? If it saves you time, and then I think even though it is slightly far-winded, the point of, well, you might as well just come back a team of the year, team of the season, then it is also kind of true, isn't it? Because you could just save yourself all of the hassle of all of the weekend leagues, all of the rivals, all of the objectives, all of this grind of games and stuff. You could save all of that and come back and get an insane player for 20k in June, right? So just save your time. You just saves all your time. So again, I think I wanted to come and make this video because I'm not trying to tell people how to play. Far from it. I'm absolutely suggesting, in fact, that you should play how you want to play. All I am asking in this video is that you also don't try and tell people how to play. Don't message me or anybody else and make them feel like they're being toxic because they don't quit, right? People are entitled to play the game the way they want to play the game. And I personally believe, and I hope I'm wrong, but I personally believe that EA will make the next set of icon swaps unbelievably more difficult because of what people have done with this golden goal situation. And I personally believe that, like, my outlook is fair in the sense that I just want to use the players that I've grinded for. And some of the responses I was getting was, why don't you go and use them in classic match then? Well, because I can use them in icon swaps and earn icon tokens whilst playing with these players. Does that make sense? I don't want to go into classic match. I get literally nothing in classic match. I don't want to go in rivals with these players either because I won't get enough points for rivals. Icon swaps is the mode, the perfect, most unbelievably designed mode for me to use these players. So if I choose to play out those games because I want to use my players, just let me, you know what I mean? It will be very interesting to see the comments on this video. As I said, I know some people would disagree, and just try and keep them civil in the comment section. Like, you can get your point across if you disagree with me without being toxic or anything like that. Like in yesterday's video, I had to delete so many toxic comments and ban so many people who are just being toxic for the sake of being toxic. And, you know, fair warning, if you're just toxic for the sake of being toxic in today's video, you'll just be banned from the channel, right? You won't get to enjoy the content anymore. If you enjoy the content, I don't know, maybe you don't. Maybe you're just here to see what I have to say. Yeah, that's where we're going to leave it today. And yeah, I am interested very much to see what you guys have to say, I suppose. And that's where we're going to leave it. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.